In 1918, Padre Pio was praying up here in the choir loft over the church. He was sitting here in front of this very crucifix. He was meditating upon Christ's wounds. It was September 20th, and it was the week after the anniversary of St. Francis receiving the stigmata. And in Padre Pio's words, he says he was sitting here praying, meditating, and then all of a sudden he was, in a sense, like, taken over. He felt within his soul, his mind, and his body, this person, we don't know who it is exactly, because he doesn't say, came in front of him, and it was almost terrifying to him. But he, during that experience, received the wounds of Christ in his hands, in his feet, and in his heart. And Padre Pio said he thought he would die if it wasn't for Jesus intervening for him. But he received, and in the same fast way that this person or spirit, or we don't know exactly, came to him in this vision, it went away, except the wounds remained for the rest of his life. This is the very spot where that happened. And this is his habit that he was wearing on that day, September 20th, 1918. Pray for us. So this is the veranda. This would be Padre Pio's view. It was just outside of his cell. And as he got older and couldn't go out into the main areas, he would just sit up here and look out over this beautiful town. And he would greet his spiritual brothers and sisters and other brothers. It looks like there's a picture here, him doing confession. He had spiritual children, and so he would meet with them here. And this is the actual chairs that he was sitting in. And in this area, there's also some other things that were important to him here. Part of his life, his little coffee cup, and looks like medicine. And this area, I love that Blessed Mother. And this area, when he died, they actually brought his body. Well, he died in a cell, which you're gonna see, but they brought his body out here, I guess, as a viewing area for people to see. So here is his cell that he lived in for most of the time he was here, I think. And tiny, but has two windows, and as you saw, a beautiful view. And it's decorated with things that were important to him, his books, and those shoes in the middle of the room were the shoes that he wore when he was dying, or after he died. They put them out there. Looks like his chair he probably sat and prayed the rosary in, and it's a very special place. And as you can see on the ground here, pilgrims who come to visit bring their petitions and prayers to him, pictures of their family members. Oh yes, so he actually died here in his cell on September 23rd, which is also the day they celebrate his life. It's the feast day of Padre Pio, St. Padre Pio, September 23rd. I'm not sure of the exact date, but we'll get it later once we get to his 1968. Thank God for Kevin. He's doing a great job. 1968, September 23rd, 1968. And he was born May 25th, 1887. We are in an upper room that has been turned into a little museum here at San Giovanni Rotondo. Rotundo. And we're gonna get to see some of the items that St. Padre Pio used to celebrate Mass. So we've got his missal here, a chair that he sat on. This is very beautiful. This he used to wear to say Mass, probably privately or every day for 10 years, I believe it says here. And here are some of his chalices. So beautiful. This one he used for 25 years on the left, and then these were given as gifts to him to celebrate his 50 years of priesthood. Correct? Oh, that was 25 years celebration, 50 years. This one I think is particularly beautiful with the hands coming up around the chalice and little rubies. St. Francis is around the bottom, Blessed Mother. Here we have a kneeler that Padre Pio knelt on, and a chasuble that he would wear on special feast days to say Mass. Another one of his chairs and kneelers. And then this wall behind me, these are all letters that he received in 1 year. Isn't that amazing? Here are some monstrance that he would hold, process for adoration or benediction. The quote from St. John Paul II, who just said that the Mass was the center of Padre Pio's day. It was everything that he looked towards and felt a special call to suffer with our Lord Jesus. And just some more items. This right here, this is the vestments that he wore when he said his last Mass. Padre Pio, we know, was a mystic and a priest first. He was also a mystic and received the stigmata. And here's an image of him receiving the stigmata. And I want to read to you something that comes from the diary of, I believe, his secretary's Father Agostino. And it says, on the Friday after the feast of the Stigmata of St. Francis, the anniversary of it, September 20th, 1918. So Padre Pio was born in 1887. So at this point, he's 21 years old. What is that? 87, 97, 30, 31, right? So it was the week after the anniversary of St. Francis receiving the stigmata, September 20th, 1918, after Mass. He was up in the chorus, where the choir loft was, and just praying in thanksgiving. He was meditating on the Passion of Jesus when that same Jesus, the word here is character of August 6, who had previously appeared to Padre Pio, appeared to him again, but crucified. And he felt, all of a sudden, he just felt that he was within it and receiving this. From the crucifix started 5 rays, from the hands, from the feet, from the side, from his feet and his side. The vision lasted a few minutes and returned to himself. When he came back into himself, he just felt plagued and suffering. The sores, the actual sores were bloody, especially that part of his heart. And he barely had the strength to drag himself into the room to clean his clothes that were all soaked with blood. Unbelievable that certain people are given this opportunity, I guess you'd say, to really suffer with our Lord through the wounds of Christ. Here are some more images. Here he is celebrating Mass. And he did, I'm sure we'll find out, but I know he had times where he just was continuously receiving, like the wounds just were constantly bleeding, and so he would wear gloves sometimes when he'd go out or celebrate Mass. And actually, when I was a little girl, I went to a service in St. Louis where they had a glove of Padre Pio that they were taking around. But I love this quote here, so I want to read it to you. This is Padre Pio's words. "I feel, my Father, that love will finally overcome me. The soul runs the risk of dividing itself from the body for the reason that it cannot love Jesus enough on earth. Yes, my soul is wounded with love for Jesus. I am sick of love. I continually feel the bitter pain of that burning that burns and does not consume. Suggest to me, if you can, the remedy for the current state of my soul." Here is a towel that is marked with Padre Pio's blood from 1946. So he had either cleaned his wounds or wrapped his hands.
Yeah, this was for his wound in his side. Other wounds.
Here we are in the chapel where Padre Pio is buried. Or he's not buried, you can see him. I'm gonna try to get up close. Stations of the Cross, and then over here to the right is the hospital that Padre Pio built. Kevin, what's the name of the hospital?
House for the Relief of Suffering.
The House for the Relief of Suffering. He didn't want to call it a hospital. He wanted to call it the House for the Relief of Suffering. How beautiful. This is the view from the top of the hospital, looking out. In the distance, you can see the sea. And here's the front of the hospital. It goes up, 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 up. Beautiful.